Hello and welcome to Midas Markets Daily News. Let's kick off your trading day with the latest financial news and market headlines.
Hi traders, this is Jason with Market Update. The US dollar index held steady around the 100 level heading into the weekend, on track for a weekly gain of roughly 0.7%. Ongoing tensions with Iran, elevated oil prices, and concerns over inflation and growth continue to support the greenback. Oil remains near 2022 highs, with markets expecting the conflict to stretch into April despite a temporary 10-day pause in US strikes announced by Donald Trump to allow room for negotiations. WTI crude traded in a volatile range around the $95 level last week as conflicting signals from the US and Iran kept global energy markets on edge. Iran rejected ceasefire proposals and instead pushed for conditions including control over the Strait of Hormuz, while the White House insists diplomatic efforts are still ongoing, reportedly sending a 15-point proposal via Pakistan. Easing panic over peak oil prices, combined with domestic political pressure in the US and tentative steps by Tehran, is helping stabilize expectations for the near-term energy outlook. Gold is currently hovering around $4,500, marking a correction of over 20% from its late January peak near $5,600. This pullback has been driven by a stronger dollar, improving global risk sentiment and profit-taking. However, geopolitical risks tied to the Middle East remain unresolved, continuing to provide structural support for gold. Historically, gold tends to surge during the initial phase of geopolitical shocks, followed by a consolidation as markets absorb the impact of macro factors. Yen broke above the key 160 level ahead of the weekend, reaching highs around 160.4. The yen initially strengthened following the Bank of Japan's decision to keep rates unchanged, particularly after Governor Kazuo Ueda expressed concerns about rising inflation driven by higher oil prices. However, Ueda also noted that underlying inflation is expected to align with the central bank's target later in the forecast period, while real interest rates remain significantly low. The euro slipped toward the 1.15 level against the dollar last week as markets weighed developments in US-Iran negotiations. On the macro side, Spain's inflation rose to 3.3% in March, the highest since mid-2024, though still below expectations. Market expectations for ECB policy have shifted significantly, with traders now pricing in at least 2 rate hikes this year.
We hope you enjoyed today's market outlook. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Remember to join us tomorrow morning for the freshest news.